It's the 19th of October 2025, and doing this first thing in the morning. It's about 10 a.m. It's 10 a.m. Oh, I've actually filmed this in my head. I remembered something from yesteryear. Do you remember there's a dating site? There used to be I don't even know if it still exists. It was I think it went from started in the late 90s. It went through the zeros, and it was called Lava Life. It was a dating site in Sydney called Lava Life, and occasionally, once in every 5 or 6 years, I remember it. Lava Life. The time that I was on it, I think there was different periods, different phases in the zeros, and it was the most depressing period that I had. It is the most miserable and depressing way to connect with, hook up with women in Sydney. It will that site will lower your self-esteem, But I had remembered. Okay, there was a woman on there. Bonk, first date. That was her name. Bonk, first date. And I remember, but I don't remember where I was living at the time. I was either at home with mum and dad, or I was, and also the women's profiles on there, in the sense they were all mainstream, and they said what I don't want in a guy, what I don't want. And most of the time would say someone who lives at home with mummy and daddy. And at the time that I was on Lava Life, for 50% of that time, I was at home with mum and dad, and was living at home. And in retrospect now, it's okay. It's okay to do that. I remember being on there one night, and I would scroll the pages of women, which is not a healthy thing to do. It's just not a natural or healthy thing to do. I never got anywhere with that. It was really depressing to be on there. Bonk first date came up, and she said, listen up boys, listen up men, I'm gathering together myself a harem of guys, and you could be the winner. Or she said, I'm going to have 5 or 10 guys at my pick and choose any time that I want. You must be interesting, get my attention, be able to entertain me, blah 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 blah. And she said, please present your applications to me, which I will thoroughly go through, and be checking all your references. And she said, I want names and addresses of all your girlfriends and all your ex-girlfriends. And she went on and on. And she said, you could get to be part of my lucky harem. Or she said, you could be my lucky guy. Submit your applications now. And at the time, I took it half seriously at the time. I momentarily took it that seriously. I thought, I could, and I also said to myself, does it mean she bonks first date, that she does it? I was a bit naive about things in those days. And then she disappeared for a while, and then she said, oh, I'm back, and my is all ready and polished. I had some women's problems. And she was, in retrospect now, she was a bit nasty, but at the time I took her partially seriously. I did at the time, and I was going to say something else. A lot of the women's profiles that I would look through, they would say what they didn't like, and 60% of the women on there, maybe even 70%, said no long hair, no tattoos, no heavy metal, and I've been a metalhead since I was 15, and they said, oh, my man has to have muscles, and my man works 9 to 5, 5 days a week, and oh, I've only ever, 9 to, not, I had a 9 to 5 job once, like literally from 9 to 5, and it was the most miserable experience I had. It lasted 3 months before I couldn't take it anymore. It was actually at Angus and Robertson at Bankstown in about 94. It was miserable. Anyway, I digress greatly. Bonk first date. Now, what happened was, I took this thing seriously, and what I did was, for some odd reason, I think I went to some other guys' profiles to see what they had to say, because I would love my long rants, always liked my long rants, but sometimes they need to be short and quick to the point. Like 3 sentences will do you. For certain things, 3 sentences will do you. And back then, my description of myself on Love Life was about 3 paragraphs. I even showed it to my friend, because David had encouraged me to go on Love Life. David, good friend of mine, very mainstream guy, and he had said that Lava Life had been the most challenging for him in regard to a dating site, and so I would show him what I'd written. He'd be like, you okay? And so he edited that for me down to 4 sentences, 3. And I said, oh, you've taken everything out. He said, yeah, it's better now. You tell her the rest later when you meet, or whichever. Anyway, so and you had to pay like $50 for tokens, and if you wanted to chat with someone on Lava Life, you had to, it cost you money, like it was like $5 per 3 minutes or something. The women didn't, I think the women had to pay something, but they never did, because it was just always the guys who were contacting the women, either by private message or had the email. Like you had 2 ways of contacting people through Love Life. Respond to their profile, and you had to pay money for that, and you had to pay money to talk to them. And it was not like 99% of women who just simply weren't paying a cent to be on Love Life and being contacted by all these guys. And I didn't think that was a good idea. Like, I didn't think you should, and I had to pay for my profile, I had to pay a thing fee, and I didn't think that was good at all. I didn't approve of that, but I did. I conceded to that. Now, so I contacted her, which cost me money at the time to do that, a token or a couple of tokens. I contacted her, submitted my application, as it were. I said something like, easygoing guy, like being outdoors. I had copied what some other guys had said, and didn't do my long rant as usual. I did like 4 sentences. I thought, if I'm quick to the point with her, I'll get in. And I sent that to, I think I told her about my ex at the time. I think I told her about my, because I was so naive. I was so naive. And so I gave my application. And then she actually got back to me with an acknowledgement, and then a week later, she had changed what was on her profile. She had updated. She said, "So many applications have been received for my potential harem of guys. I've looked through you all. I've vetted. I've checked references and I've cross-checked references." And I was semi-gullible to this. I actually was, and and she said, "Those who have heard back from me, consider yourselves fortunate and lucky. You're in." And she said, "Let the games begin." And she said, she said something about a task. She said, "So I have a task for you all." I can't remember what it was now, but she said, "I have a task for you all." And at this point, I was like, okay. And so I did this thing, whatever it was. I think it was writing something. Whatever it was, I took it half seriously, and I submitted. Which cost me another token, and she must have had about 100 guys after, at this point, who actually were playing along with this. And I did this thing, whatever it was, probably took me about 5 minutes to do it, done. And then she had another update on her post a few days later. She said, "So, I've received all these things from all you guys, wonderful, fantastic." And then she started pointing out, like she named about 5 guys who she said, "Such and such, you need to be published. You're cool. You're quite charming. You make me laugh. You make me spew." That's what I should have said. And or you make me roll my eyes. And what was it? At 10 days into this, because she'd update her post every couple of days, she'd say, "All right, guys, I've got another task for you," and blah, 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 and such and such, "I'm getting on very well with you, such and such, you're quite interesting. Give me more of that. I want more of that." And she says, "Oh, all the lucky guys that get to be with me in the end, fun, this process." And by day 10, I thought it was at some point less than 2 weeks later. I had done the second thing that she'd asked. I'd done it pretty quickly, and I thought, okay, so it's her turn now to converse with me. I've done the 2 things. I need to get back from her now. Like, I need her to get back to me. And so I think I did one more thing. Sent something to her. I thought, that's it. She has to start giving back to me now. Like, she has to actually start giving back to me. And she said, all the guys that I haven't acknowledged, she said, "I'm enjoying receiving things from you." And she said, blah, 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 blah. And I thought, I need to get back from you now. Like, you need to give back to me. And I think I'd prefer it if you backed off these other guys and just gave me your attention. Like, I just need all your attention, and stop giving these guys. I need your attention now. It was my mindset at the time. And I would check her profile every few days, and she'd update it with some more bullshit. At the time that I said all that, I thought she was interesting. I thought she was floozy. I thought she was a bit nasty. I thought that she'd be high maintenance, and I thought